everyone, it's Donna again. I'm going to do another tutorial making some tags. For this one I don't have a finished sample to show you, so we'll just have to make it and you'll see it at the end. I'm starting off with just some plain white cardstock, just a rectangle, but obviously you could use the luggage tags that you buy from Staples, etc. Whatever you've got is easiest for you. I'm just using white cardstock because I don't have any tags at the moment. So for this technique we're going to take some distress inks, only because they're more stable with water than the Adirondacks, but we will be using the Adirondacks afterwards. Can you look surface a bit? And we're going to put some of our ink down on our mats. I don't have one of the non-stick craft sheets, I've just got this stamping mat, but it will do the job well enough. And I've used broken china, then this is one of the new ones, this is the rusty hinge, and then we're also using another new one which is Barn's door. Move that down too. Then I'm going to take some perfect pearls, I think what the name was then, and just my brush in and just add some of them, because as we know they get set with water, and as we're going to be doing a watercolour background, whilst we're making the background it will set our perfect pearls for us. So that's those put on, and then take some water, make sure I get all the water in, and we're just going to liberally spritz that, and then we're just going to take our piece of cardstock and we're just going to drag and move it through our puddle, getting a nice mixture of colours, and you can dab and you can wiggle and you can do it however you want. Okay, so we get our background, and then normally I would go ahead and dry this a bit and then go through the ink again, but because I need a dry one to start the next process with, and I don't want you to have to hear the heat gun too much, I'm actually going to waste this ink. I would normally just get out some more paper and keep working in that puddle until it's all used up rather than waste the ink, but on this occasion we're going to go on to a Blue Peter moment, and here's one I prepared earlier, and I've just put on here one of the Tim Holtz mini masks, so I've just put this one on to get us started, and then we're going on to our Adirondack inks. I have red pepper, stream and ginger for the next bit. Now for some reason my masks don't seem to stick, so I'm going to hold it in place. I'm starting with stream, and rather than rub, because that can move the mask, I'm actually going to twist my colour on. You do get a better application if you twist your blending tool rather than rub in a circular motion like we normally would. Just move it around so you can see a bit what I'm doing. And I'm not trying to blend like we did in the other video, the colours together. That's that area. I'm going to move that down here to do some more, because I'm not putting any background papers on this particular tag. The work we do with the inks and things will be our finished result, so you can see a bit what I'm doing. I think I'm on camera. Maybe a bit there. And the great thing about these masks, because they're clear, you can see the effect you're getting, so you know before you remove it if you've got the look you want. And then I'm just going to add it one final time. Just add a little bit more blue. And I don't worry if the bit I've done gets covered up a little bit with the next bit I'm doing, because it just adds to the overall effect. And yes, I know this isn't a proper blending tool, it's just an old stamp I had that I don't use anymore, so I ripped the rubber stamp off and put it into that. So we now have our background. I'm going to put my mask over here and clean it later. So now we have our background, and I'm just going to give that a quick blast because I don't want the ink to be wet when I go onto the stage of embossing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the camera, dry it, and then come back rather than you listen to the heat gun. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, so we're back with now hopefully a dry tag, and what I've decided to do is, because we were only, I think we were at about 6 minutes when we stopped, I'm going to do this as part 2, and then hopefully we should get everything done in this part and we shouldn't have to go on to another part, fingers crossed. Right, so I'm just getting out some acrylic blocks, and I'm taking a stamp of, sorry, let me bring the stamps up, this little girl. It's a set from a company in the UK called Paper Artsy, and I'm going to be using the little girl, the little stamp, and the little postage mark as well for this project. So we take the little girl, and I'm going to use my clear Perfect Medium, which has managed to get sparkly somehow. I don't know if that's going to show up in the camera, but mine's all sparkly for some reason. I'll give this a good ink. We get a nice impression. Over there. And then I'm going to stamp her right here. Now I'm on a surface that's not very stable, so this may not come out completely clearly, and that's why I'm pressing a bit harder, because my worktops in my kitchen are quite bouncy for some strange reason. To be honest, I need a new kitchen, but it's a luxury I can't afford at the moment, so do that and hope we've got a good impression. And then I'm going to take some spare cardstock, and I'm using the Walnut Stain Distress Embossing Pad. I'm just going to give it a good shake so we mix up the released crystals into our powder so that we don't get the wrong kind of mix. And then this is where we hope that we've dried it enough. Sprinkle it on. Don't worry about how much you sprinkle on, the image will only ever retain what it needs. And if you have got a little bit of excess, which I've got just a tiny bit from it being a little bit damp, get that off. Put our powder away so we don't waste any of it. Get it closed up, so it's sort of ready for next time. And then the thing with the distress powders is they don't turn shiny like normal embossing powders do, so you've just got to wait until you see it change colour slightly. But the good thing is, although you can overheat it, it's not as hard to overheat, or as easy to overheat, should I say, as normal embossing powders. It takes a lot more for it to burn, but it will burn, so still be careful. So I'm just going to heat this, so please excuse the noise. So that should be done. We'll let that cool a bit. Then on to